Hey guys, welcome to another video here at Archive Gaming for Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. I thought before I start my next playthrough, I'd go ahead and do sort of a short summary video where I cover basically a little bit of the lore of the faction I'm going to use, and also try to tackle like some of my thoughts for my strategy. Since I do these sort of, without any real preparation, or, I don't really load the file and look through or anything like that. I kind of just pick the force and then kind of play it out. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of, just kind of look at the officer, look at the force, and then try to come up with a game plan that I can then look at later, later down the line, and compare and see how well I was able to stick to that or not stick to that, But before I do that, I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody who's watched my videos, people who have stopped by my first live stream, the 10 people or so who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I wasn't sure if anybody would really be interested in watching these videos, but just having a few people watching, that's more than enough for me, so I plan to keep, pumping out content for this game. I really like this game. I'm a big time, very old school Three Kingdoms player. I've been playing it since forever. So it's just great to see people, coming out and watching some of the live streams and stuff like that, especially for my first couple of live streams, because they were pretty rocky, and so yeah, again, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And also, if people have suggestions for scenarios and forces, I'm always open to suggestions. Drop me a comment on any of the videos. I always try to look through the videos and look through the comments and see if anybody has anything really to add or to suggest. I'm always more than open for any suggestions. So with that, let's go on to the video. So my next scenario is going to be the Rise of Cao Cao. So this one is it's DLC. It just came out, I want to say about a week or two ago. It's pretty new. I want to say last week is when it came out. And the force I'm going to go with, let me load them up here. Okay, force I'm gonna go with is this guy right here, Yang Fen. So Yang Fen, who's stationed in Luoyang, the reason I went with him is because he has a few interesting things going with him right now. So for anybody who doesn't know, his role in the novel, I want to say the novel, not the actual history, but in the novel, is pretty minor. He's one of the bandits who kind of splits away from Li Ju's force and helps the Emperor escape what's left of Dong Zhuo's force. So the Emperor breaks away and runs away, and then eventually the Emperor falls into the hands of Cao Cao later on. So this guy kind of is him and his, maybe, I didn't want to say two of his other officers, or is it three of his other officers? I know he does as well, Han Xian. So him and a couple buddies, they kind of break off. They have enough of Li Ju's, they've had enough of Li Ju. So they take the Emperor, run away, and they try to kind of take the Emperor and get out of Chang'an, and they end up in Luoyang, which is where Cao Cao picks him up later. And the force is kind of, it's very mediocre. There's not a lot of military. The best guy I want to say is Su Huang, and actually in the novel, that's pretty much Yang Feng's biggest role, is more or less being a footnote for Su Huang later joining Cao Cao's force. Su Huang ends up becoming a pillar of Cao Cao's force later on, and Yang Feng kind of helps along with that inadvertently, because what happens is that he falls for a ploy where he begins to suspect Su Huang of betraying him, and it ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. So kind of like what Cao Cao does to Ma Chao later on in the future with Hein Sui, where he kind of forms a rift between them. He does the same thing here fairly early, and that's what happens between them. They were actually good buddies, but as soon as the seeds of dissension are sowed between them, Su Huang ends up leaving, and Yang Feng ends up giving up. You know, like I said, he's a pretty minor character. And I actually didn't know that he fled to Yuan Shu. I totally forgot that part. I thought he actually dies in combat, trying to hold on to the Emperor, but I guess he gives up the Emperor, and he according to this at least, he runs to Yuan Shu afterwards. So that's really his role. It's not a very big role, but I do like the Force because, well, there isn't a lot of military strength. Again, it looks like the strength of the army is going to be Su Huang. That's about it. At least early game, right? Because anything can change in this game. There's a lot of civil officers. You know, the Emperor always had a few people that stuck around him no matter what. And right now, right here, he's got a few of them. He's got these 4. And they all have high politicals, high intelligence. They have really great positive traits. You know, again, it's not suited for military affairs, but they all have, you know, just different things that they touch on. One of the overlapping themes in terms of policies in this force is developing transports, which helps, you know, pick up your transport speed so you go a little bit faster, which is really important in this game. Now, it might not be too important early on because, again, you're kind of landlocked. You're in Luoyang, you're in the dead center of China. So early on, it's not going to matter too much, and it might not matter at all. If I get wiped out right away, then it's not going to matter at all, right? But there is some building blocks with this force. You know, there's a lot of developing transport, there's a lot of political and intelligence, so there's a lot of possibilities here for growth, economic growth, and quick, fast economic growth, and also recruiting. It's just the military that's lacking, and of course the situation being that you're in the center of Luoyang. This is after Dong Zhuo's burned Luoyang to the ground, so I'm not sure if the city is going to reflect that economy wise. I'm not sure if the city scale is going to be small or not. I haven't loaded it up, so I haven't looked yet, but I'm assuming in past romance games the city was small because it was destroyed. So the city might need to be rebuilt, but there are a few things that the force has going for it besides the civil officers in terms of the land. The first thing is that because we're in Luoyang, we have both gates, which I can see on the map. There are the 2 little triangles on the sides. So we have both gates, so that's going to help with defense. Also, Li Ju, I'm assuming, is going to be a pushover. We should be able to take out Li Ju, and that's probably where I'm thinking, at least looking at it, where I'm going to go in the early game. I'm going to try to head towards Li Ju, see if I can take him out, and then see if that's enough to stand up to Cao Cao, because I want to be able to stand up to him right away. If not, then I might have to head towards Ma Tang, but I really don't like necessarily heading in Ma Tang's direction, so I'm just going to try to take Chang'an back, and then hopefully with Chang'an and Luoyang, because those are fairly large cities, I might be able to stand up and fight Cao Cao, you know, blow for blow, at least for a while. But again, all speculation. Another thing that I like about his force is that, and I'm not sure if I'm right in this because I haven't tried it yet, but a couple of his officers have the bandit trait. I want to say it's 3 of them. Let's see. 3 of them. Yeah, okay. This guy's a former Yellow Turban, I think. That's why he has it. I'm not sure why he does. Li Ju, he's a former Yellow Turban. Okay, so Bandit says when over an area center at the start of the next turn, public order in the area is decreased. So I'd like to be able to take advantage of that somehow. I have no idea if I'll be able to do it or not, but I've always wanted to try to find a way, maybe to sit on course and create, you know, bandits and kind of create havoc. I'm not sure if it's doable or not. It seems probably more trouble than it's worth, but just I guess something, that'll be something to think about in the meantime. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so it should be interesting. I know that a lot of the events in this scenario I think are going to be geared towards Cao Cao, so I'm assuming that I'm probably going to be in the way of those events, since Cao Cao does eliminate this guy or run him off and absorb the Emperor. So I don't know if that's going to derail. I'm hoping that doesn't cause a domino where it derails all of the events and I can still see some of the new events in this DLC. But, you know, I'm really not sure. I almost wanted to go with somebody else, but it just, I haven't seen this guy be playable in a romance game, I want to say, since Romance 7. Like, it's been a while. It's been a long time since this guy's force has been playable. So I'm kind of excited to, you know, to try him out and try a force that's in Luoyang after it's been kind of burnt to the ground. And I like the, you know, just the fluff of it all. You know, he's there, he's got the Emperor, he's trying to do the right thing, more or less. You know, he's broken away from Li Ju. I mean, he's power hungry just like the rest of them, but, you know, in his mind, he's not a tyrant like Li Ju is. You know, but he also doesn't want to give the Emperor over to somebody else. You know, so it's interesting. I think the difficulty I'm gonna go with on my first try is gonna be veteran. I'm gonna try veteran, and then if that doesn't work out, I might bump it down to hard. You know, because well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't really have any experience on veteran yet, so that's another thing to consider. I'm hoping that there's still room for suboptimal play, just so things don't get too linear. You know, as you go up in these games, as you keep climbing the difficulty, options kind of get tossed to the wayside because you have to get more and more and more efficient. So I'm hoping that veteran isn't too demanding in the sense that you need to be 100% efficient all the time, because for me personally, it gets a little stale when you have to do the same. You know, when no matter what, your avenues are kind of closed off, and there's just the method, and there's nothing else but the one method. You know, so if it's kind of like that, then I might bump it down to hard. You know, but outside of that, that's it. So yeah, stick around, and I want to say, like, in the next day or two, I'll have my first couple uploads of this playthrough, and we'll see how it goes. So again, thanks everybody for, you know, stopping by. If you haven't already, I would subscribe, because I'll have I'm planning on a lot more content for this game, so just stick around, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys.